With each theme festival, I think there's always a gem. And with this base building fest that's happening right now, this is no exception. I've shown a couple of games on the channel already, like Plan B. We also have a new demo for Builders of Egypt. Don't hesitate to check on the channel in the video description below if you want to see them. But for me, this time the winner is New Cycle. I actually already had the game on my wishlist list, so I was following it, but we actually didn't know much about it before. Now we have a demo, so we know a lot more, and I'm definitely excited. If you have loved Frostpunk in the past, you will definitely want to see this one. Let's dive into the game. As I said, of course, this is just a demo, right? So they're making sure that you know that everything is not finished and all of this. In particular, we're not going to have access to everything, right? This is just a gameplay of 1-2 hours, as they're saying, but still, I am really excited. I'm gonna show you why. We're gonna have different modes like Sandbox, which is a bit of a peaceful mode. Then there's a story mode, which if you follow my channel, you probably know that I do like campaigns. I like to go mission by mission, complete them. So this is great, but then there's also going to be some other scenarios, and I'm sure that they can add more in the future, but you can see sort of different starting points, different types of problems. In this demo, unfortunately, we only have the sandbox, but again, this is to be expected. And we can see also that we have different maps. This is not like Frostpunk where everything is only, winter. We're going to have here different weather, different types of maps with different bonuses and minuses. Once again, in the demo, we only have one, but that's normal. So here it is, we are in the game, and frankly, I think it's already looking really nice. For a demo, you can see the details, right? We have our people walking around, we have animals, we have flowers. It's not perfect, but it's a city builder, right? It's a survival game. I'm not expecting a first-person shooter, so that's what's really cool. And I also like the UI. The UI is pretty clear. You have all your resources at the top, tiers of population, 3 tiers of population. Each will work on different things, right? You have your workers, your craftsmen, your specialists. We're gonna go into some of those details later. Then you have the time over here that you can increase or slow down. This is also linked at the bottom over here on the season. We're in year 1 spring, and there's no dangerous weather event right now. But of course, in the future, you know that this will change. And then over here, we have all of our types of buildings, right? And there's a couple of other elements we'll talk about later. But again, I think this is really looking sleek. I like this. And we have a message. We are now the governor of this little community. Basically what happened, there was a solar flare, a lot of solar flare, and then everything broke down. Civilization as we know it fell. So now we have to rebuild. Everybody, everyone that is here was born into this new world. Now we need to rediscover the lost knowledge, sort of restart civilization. So again, there are some similarities with Frostpunk and other survival games in this genre, but definitely some differences too. And right off the bat, something I really like, you can choose to do the tutorial or not. We're gonna do it so that I can show you step by step the basics. The first one is to build a field camp, start gathering logs and stone. And again, I think this is, in terms of UI, looking really well. You have a small description in terms of story if you want to get immersed into it. And you have a very clear, what do you need to do, why do you need to do it, clean task, icon so that you can clearly see what's happening. So again, this is really looking good for me. We're gonna build, as I said, this field camp, 14 logs to build it, and with that we'll be able to collect some resources. And we see the resources again in terms of UI really looking good. We have, for example, over here, you can see exactly how much resources so that you can choose a good place. Here we have quite a bit of wood and stone, but over here we also have some iron. So that's looking pretty nice to me and not too far from our camp. Let's actually also rename our camp while we're at it to Gamer Camp. And similar to Frostpunk, you know, somebody is actually going to walk over with resources, with their tools, maybe even a couple of people, and they're going to start building. And we're going to see, you know, animations of building. So here it is, somebody there. You know, they're starting to build. I'm not saying it's perfect animation, but I like that it's not just built at once, all done. And of course, now we get, you know, a red icon, something to change. So what is it? Well, we have nobody working. Of course, that's a problem. So we want to have people working together. We have 35 over here. So having 6 in total won't be a lot. But this is, again, something I like. You can choose if you want to have a lot of people working on wood, a lot of people on stone, and then you can see, you know, 18 per day, how many available. So, you know, I think, again, UI-wise, gameplay-wise, this is working really well for me. So we built the field camp. Now we need 20 and 10. So that's going to take, of course, a minute. Once again, we can accelerate the time if we want. Over here, we have sort of what is happening, right? The notifications. Tutorial step 1 complete. Let's move to step 2. Now it's time to move to build. Now it's time to move to processing, right? We have some logs. We need to transform them into lumber by building a sawmill. This is also linked over here. You can see there's production and consumption. Again, something really cool in my opinion. And you can even go into graph details like this, which are looking really good, you know, in and out. Let's go into production, build a lumber mill over here. Once again, you know, somebody is gonna go walk over there. This one is bringing, I don't know what, but looks very heavy. This is Yasmin O'Neill. Can't change her name. I hope in the future we can do that. But again, this is just a demo, right? And it is, we have the new building. We need to select what we want to do. So lumber, right? We're gonna have a couple of people. Let's put 5 for now. Cool. And with that, it's gonna tell us, you know, how much needed, efficiency, all of this. And we need to produce 30. We're gonna be almost there. You can see the resources. Now we need to build a well. It's good to have some water for people, right? Clean water need. Okay, so I don't remember, what is it in utility? No, resources. Okay, we're gonna put a well. And once again, you know, we have this thing over here to know, is this a good place? Well, this is like, what, 60%, right? Over here, this is like 0%. That's not good at all. We want to obviously make sure that it's pretty close to our people, but also pretty close to a source. And here it seemed pretty well. Okay, somebody's gonna work on it again, build it. Good. Done, and we're starting to produce another resource. Well, we're still missing some meat. That's the problem, right? I think you want some food. So let's have a gathering camp. Not for meat, for mushroom. But that's a start. Resources, gathering camp. And again, we can see there's some meat over here. There's some mushrooms. I don't think we have fish too close. But let's take this over here. That's not bad. A lot of water. And you can see our consumption based on our people, of course, right? And some immigrants. A flock of refugees appear near the edge of a settlement. Although we are open to everyone who accept our oath, we may not be able to produce enough food for them, right? Like right now, we have 0 actually, and even water, maybe we won't have enough water. So you do have to be careful. It's not so easy as always. So it is, let's put 3 people working here. And then we're gonna see, right? This is 144, it seems. Now we need to start researching, right? To make sure that we can improve our productivity, improve our technology, unlock new buildings, many different things. With that, we'll be able to build a soup kitchen and create meals. So let's slow down 1 second. Let me show you. So now we're producing a good amount of water, it seems, versus consumption. Seems also okay on mushroom for now. But let's make sure that we research, right? And the research tree is over here. We also have, by the way, the map, right? Oh, our stomachs are getting smaller. Give us food. Otherwise, they're probably going to be very unhappy, right? So we go into construction material, but as you can see, there's a number of trees already. And we have the basic construction over here. It's going to cost us some knowledge, some time, and some resources. Right, so it's not so easy, obviously. It's not like you can do everything. In terms of research, this is what you can see over here. We're creating based on our population. So we have quite a bit. Once again, a great idea in terms of UI. This is filling up when it will be finished, you'll see easily. So anyway, we're making some good resources overall. The only problem is the simple meal. Our population is unhappy. They are given water, but they are not given food. And that's going to be a problem for sure. If we look also over here on our people, we can see their morale. And their morale will impact everything. They will impact their efficiency. Right now we have a bad morale, so we only have 20% efficiency. If you had a great morale, they would have a 115% efficiency. By the way, if you click on the question mark over here, you see once again some really good, in my opinion, encyclopedia or tutorial if you wish. Right, there's numbers to show you what to look at. There's good descriptions. And again, this is just a demo, right? But to me, it shows that they're really going for a good product. Okay, so we're researching. Let's accelerate because it's taking a minute. So now we have the stockpile and the soup kitchen. Let's make sure we build the soup kitchen. Resources, but we have those resources. That's not a problem. They are very, very unhappy. Soon they'll be dead, basically. So we have to be careful. But here it is. We'll be able to give very soon, a recipe. We can select mushroom and water, meat, etc. For now, we only have mushroom, so we don't really have a choice. Let's make sure we have people working there, and we need to make sure that we're producing enough, right? So we need to see that. We're going to see that now we're consuming some mushrooms, consuming also more water. There's a production of 0 right now. I don't know if it's a bug or it's because it's the night. Oh, it's not the night, right? That's strange. Okay, it's back up. But yeah, we're making some simple meal and it seems we're making a lot more than what we need. So that's good. We could get more people into the city. We were talking just before about morale. Morale is obviously impacted also if we give more or less resources, in particular food, right? Like if you have a regular ration or if you have a half ration or a double ration, you'll probably be more or less happy. So that's what we're gonna do. We click on our population management and over here we have the distribution, right? We can make sure to give maybe a regular. We are currently at low, we can move to regular and you can see the impact, right? Moving from 2 to 10 in terms of morale. So that's really good. We could, by the way, do also the same for water, for example, moving to medium, and we can see even our consumption right away, right? So if you know how much you're producing, you can directly see the impact. With that, we're going to increase our morale slowly but surely. Not saying it's huge, but it's a first step. I don't know, I think this production thing, right, and consumption is going a bit up and down with night cycles, those type of things, which again may not be my preferred. Right, I feel like maybe this is not perfect. But anyway, we've become a self-sufficient settlement, right? We have enough food, we have enough water to sustain our people. We're producing some basic resources like log and stone. But of course, we're really just at the beginning of the game, right? Okay, I've basically finished the demo and I want to show you all that this game has to offer. There's even a fire now in my town and I could choose what to do, to do nothing, to do a balanced response, a full response, which has impact on your workforce, but also on the chance that this thing is gonna survive or not. You can see we have a lot more resources at the beginning. I even had to build a number of those stockpiles that you can see over here, where you can choose, what to stock, to increase the storage limit, all those type of things. Really good. By the way, also, if you're wondering, you can actually change all those things at the top. If I right click on it, I can choose which resource to show over here. So this is really good. You can really tailor what you want. We have a lot more workers than before, 75, but we also have some craftsmen. I have built over here, a school. It's a technical bootcamp, but it's basically a school where I can choose, to send some workers to school, basically. I can send 3, 4, 1, whatever. The more I send, obviously, the more it's gonna cost, and start their education. And a couple minutes later, it will tell me which one has graduated or not. Not all of them will graduate. I like this. We've also built houses, now we have houses for our people, and not just houses. If I click on it over here, I can see that I'm giving them food on a regular portion, water, regular, basic tool, medium, and also clothes. We're giving them many things, and with that, obviously the morale has increased quite a bit. Therefore, the efficiency has increased. We're also giving them houses, everybody has a house, and entertainment. There is a bar over here. This is for the entertainment, and you can see there's a radius. The morale is also impacted by positive and negative events. Right, we have, for example, over here, advisor contribution. That's something we're going to talk about just now, but also a negative event linked to the fire. Is the fire still going, by the way? Oh, actually, the building got destroyed. I think my Balanced response was not a good idea. We lost the building. That was, if I'm not mistaken, a lumber mill. So let's rebuild that very quickly. It was my lumber mill making paper, right? Because this is one of the buildings where there's different, elements. You don't have to only make one thing. You can make different things if you want. We've done a lot more research, right? I finished the research over here. For example, hunting to unlock meat. We also unlock clothes over here. Over here, many different ones. For example, scouts, tavern, the technical boot camp with paper, and the resource camp. And in construction and material, multiple too, right? We have electricity, we have clay and bricks, we have over here copper to make some wires. And the only one I haven't done is this one. Need a bit more paper. We'll talk about it just now. As I just said, we've even unlocked mines. So this is a basic mine. There's mining resources over here. And what's really interesting is when you build a mine, you don't even know what the resources are. For example, there's more over here, if I'm not mistaken. Right? Basic mine, there's 3 different mines over here, but we don't know what they are. I need to first build this shaft, and then with this shaft, they'll be able to go underneath and discover what it is. And it is the technical bootcamp has finished, and none of them succeeded. They're not good. So, that was a lot of resources. I also put roads, by the way, a bit everywhere, because roads are important. For example, if I look over here at this one, it's not linked to a road. There's just one tile missing, and we see not connected to a road, and this is giving me a minus 30% in terms of my productivity. So indeed, you may want to build road as much as possible. Here it is. Now I've built the road, it's connected, we have higher workforce. We also have unlocked advisors at the bottom over here, which are giving me bonuses. There's not that many, but I'm sure in the future we'll have more. Maybe also different maps or different campaigns will have different ones. We also have a first law, which is I've decided not to overhunt. There was a decision to be made. Do you want to overhunt and maybe have a good production of meat, but that will be finite, or have a lower production of meat, but that will go forever? And we actually also moved to the second era. We at the beginning started in era 1, but when we reached 50 people and almost 2,500 knowledge point, we reached era 2. Era 3, we are almost there. We need 100 people. And then there's also era 4, which you can see where even has crude oil. I don't know if we'll get more than 4 in the final game, but this is already a lot of resources. I've also had many events, as I said, where, they tell me, will you be able to give, for example, higher rations for 3 months or those type of things? And you have to decide. Similar to Frostpunk, you can decide if you do it or not. Of course, doing it will give you, bonuses. We also have built the scouts over here, but this is not part of the demo. I think similar to Frostpunk, once again, right, you have to create a team and then probably send it on the map. And on the map, you'll see find resources, maybe research people, I don't know. We'll have to see. Some new migrants, always a good idea if you have enough resources. We do have a lot of resources right now. The seasons at the bottom are really important. They trigger events. For example, right now there's a sandstorm, but they also change the visual and they also change the availability of resources. Meat or mushrooms may not be available in winter, those type of things. So it's really cool. I think there's a lot over there to make, the game less boring, make it less linear. I love it a lot. I'm not saying the game is perfect. I'm sure there are bugs, but at least I was able to play it. It was an enjoyable experience. I found, for example, one thing that was very strange. I think it's over here. I researched this one, the stable routes, and it says first and then resource camp. I never found what was that. I can't see it anywhere unless, my eyes are misleading me, but I couldn't see it anywhere. I have tried to upgrade some buildings because maybe I thought, this was an upgrade of a current building, because you can upgrade building over here, and for some of them when you click nothing happens. For others, for example the residents, they will tell you what you need. You need those resources. We're actually not making that yet, so we can't do it, but yeah. And again, there may be also other ones. By the way, don't forget to put some electricity, right? You need electricity in your town. There's production and consumption, so I built a farm over here for electricity. Some small improvement that I love to have too is, for example, when I build several buildings, maybe there is one that I want in priority. So to be able, to select which one is priority. That could be interesting. Also to be able to blueprint in a way, right? Maybe I don't have the resources for research or for building, but still being able to place it or still being able to select the research so that I see what's missing, for example, on my screen. And maybe as soon as I have the resources, it starts. That could be good. And to finish this demo, I think let's upgrade our first shack into a residence. We need some resources that we have. We started to make some glass, we started to make some wire, so all good there. And it is, we have a first residence. Okay, I guess that's one small bug. The text is not fully localized. It's taking more electricity, I think. This is 10, this is 45, a lot more electricity, but we have more space. And I guess there's probably also other benefits that I don't know about. But it is once again a really interesting look at this new future title, New Cycle, which is in some ways copying a lot from Frostpunk, and therefore for the final game it will also obviously be quite important to see what is different versus Frostpunk, right? What is on top, what is new, but at least for this first demo, I am loving it. I think there's a lot of potential. Of course, there's still a lot to be done, right, to finish the game and also to ensure that there's a great balance, maybe different difficulty levels, right? But at this first look, once again, I'm keen. So don't hesitate also to tell me in the comments below what you think. What did you like about it from what you've seen, or maybe for what you've tried yourself, what you didn't like so much. Maybe that can also help, the developers. Don't hesitate to smash the like button so that more city building fan and survival game fan can see this video, and I hope to see you next time.